Hey everybody, HomeSliceHenry here, and in today's video we're taking a look at some insanely spicy battles in the Open Master League. These battles were submitted to the channel by a member of the community, Mini Coke, so many thanks for the battle submission. Now the team, in addition to featuring XURKITREE, also has a level 50 Regice, which I don't think I have ever seen anyone use before. Now XURKITREE, of course, has a truly monster attack stat, I believe second only to Deoxys attack in eligible Pokemon in the Master League. So without further ado, let's hop into the matches, and let's check out level 50 XURKITREE in the Master League. Hopping to the first match, picking up a tough lead, Therian Landorus into Kyogre. Gonna stay in this matchup to start, bank some energy, and then save switch into the Regice. Opponent staying in this matchup and firing off energy, and that is perfectly fine, as Regice is able to withstand the damage. Opponent gonna send in Dialga, and this is where having Earthquake can come in clutch, as Earthquake is going to grab a shield from the opponent. Regice continuing to farm, opponent is going to let Regice make it to Earthquake number 2. This Earthquake is going to connect, dealing big damage. If the opponent tries to farm down here, I think Regice might get to a third, and it barely does. The opponent not respecting the Regice, and it cost them both of their shields. They have a massive amount of energy on the Dialga, but all Landorus has to do is shield once, go for a superpower, and the opponent is going to lose the remainder of that energy. And now XURKITREE is in the position it needs to be, which is up a shield. In the back, oh no, with Dialga gone, they are ABA weak to electric. XURKITREE going for the discharge, that does big damage to the Togekiss, and XURKITREE is gonna get the full farm down. Back in comes Kyogre, XURKITREE, Everglassy taking a lot of fast move damage here, but dealing monster damage with the discharge. Kyogre gets the farm down, but it's just too low on HP, and the opponent concedes the match. Moving into the next match, leading Therian Landorus into Giratina Origin. This is a neutral matchup on paper, but a matchup in which I do typically prefer to be the Giratina, as Giratina, as we can see, has a lot more fast move pressure in this matchup, and the Shadow Ball is going to hit for massive damage onto the Landorus. Landorus returning fire with the Stone Edge. Stone Edge is going to connect, and a second Stone Edge will come very close to knocking out. Landorus able to make the last second Stone Edge here. Does the opponent value health on this Giratina? They do. Giratina gets the farm down. In comes Regice. Opponent is going to save switch into Kyogre, and Kyogre will be answered with XURKITREE. XURKITREE farming up energy here. We know, due to its massive attack stat, that it is very, very glassy. This thing cannot take a hit whatsoever, building up to the back-to-back discharges. Firing off the discharge. Discharge will be shielded by the opponent. XURKITREE farming up and playing to the CMP tie, which XURKITREE will easily win over any Metamon in this format. Is the opponent going to send in the Giratina? No, they send in Dialga, and this is going to be a very difficult game for Regice to clutch. Regice is going to need near perfect energy management to win this. Regice firing off the Earthquake. Dialga able to withstand the damage and fire off an Iron Head. Iron Head is going to be shielded up by the Regice. Regice is going to be met with energy from the Giratina. This is going to involve a very careful overfarm here by the Regice. Regice farming up energy here, but the Giratina makes it to a move. Is it the Shadow Ball? Yes, it is, and that's game over. Picking up a positive lead in the next match, Therian Landorus into Dialga, and the Dialga is staying in this matchup, which is very, very nice considering what's in the back. Landorus baiting with the more expensive Stone Edge here, trying to grab a shield without debuffing itself, and the bait is successful. Opponent throws on alignment, giving a free mud shot to the Landorus, which is very beneficial. Landorus does have to watch for a potential catch, and there it is, the opponent with the perfect prediction as they catch the superpower onto Kyogre. But bad news for the Kyogre, however, it will immediately be answered by XURKITREE, and XURKITREE is able to outpace. Discharge will easily pick up the KO, opponent is going to let that through, and down goes Kyogre. In comes a Rhyperior. Rhyperior gets a full farm down. That is extremely unfortunate, as we do see XURKITREE fall just short of making the Dazzling Gleam. Back in comes the Landorus. Landorus firing off the superpower. Rhyperior is going to commit the shield. Rhyperior firing off energy, and we are going to see a shield from the Landorus. Breaking Swipe. Does it get the debuff? No. We see a switch into Dialga, but Dialga is immediately met with a superpower. That's going to pick up the KO. Back in comes the Regice. The question is, can Regice survive a super effective Rock Wrecker? Rock Wrecker is an amazing move. Regice able to hang on and make it to the Blizzard. This is super effective damage. It's a Blizzard. It does pick up the KO after one additional lock on, and that's game over. Hopping into the next match, picking up a very favorable lead, Therian Landorus into Rhyperior. The Rhyperior staying in is definitely a surprise. It means they've got to have something that's also weak to the Landorus lurking in the back. Superpower from the Landorus does get shielded by the Rhyperior. Landorus massively overfarming and going for now what is a debuffed superpower. Rhyperior will be able to survive this, and Rhyperior knows it. Rhyperior is going to let that through. They're firing off a charge attack, but this Landorus is now heavily debuffed, so Landorus is going to commit the shield, overfarm again, and this superpower, my guess is we're going to see a no shield, and the opponent is going to bring in their Mon that does actually beat the Landorus. There it is, in comes Kyogre. We're going to see a pivot into the Regice. Regice firing off the Earthquake here. Ideally, you would love it if the Kyogre switched out, as that Earthquake does not do a lot of neutral damage to the Kyogre, but Kyogre is going to stay in here, fire off the Surf, and the Surf does a lot. Continuing to farm up, going for another Earthquake, but the Kyogre knows that it does not have to respect this, so Kyogre is going to let that through. Can Kyogre get the farm down here? That would be a little scary, and it does get the farm down. That's extremely unfortunate. Sending in the Xurkitree. Xurkitree forced to immediately shield, and Xurkitree down a shield in the end game. This is going to be difficult, and the opponent has the back-to-back. This Surf is going to do so much damage. Oh no, Xurkitree. Xurkitree, it makes it to the Dazzling Gleam though. This is going to do a ton of neutral damage. The Dazzling Gleam, big damage onto Dialga, and we see the Landorus firing off the superpower, but that looked like it was a CMP tie, and it was. That's game over. A chance for redemption in the next match as Landorus leads into another Rhyperior, and like last game, this opponent is not switching out, choosing to go for a more expensive Stone Edge bait this time, and the opponent no shields. What a call by the opponent. Oh my goodness. They're firing off the Breaking Swipe. Breaking Swipe is going to get the debuff onto the Landorus, and they're going for Breaking Swipe number 2. Landorus has not debuffed itself yet, so this is a very comfortable no shield. Unfortunately, its attack has been 2 stages debuffed by both these Breaking Swipes. This superpower will pick up the knockout. Opponent is going to let that through. Again, like last game, looking to pivot into the Regice. What does the opponent have in the back? It's a Heatran, and this is double super effective Earthquake damage here. This Earthquake will connect, nearly getting the one shot onto the Heatran. Heatran firing off energy here. It will be the Magma Storm, but Magma Storm will not KO, and we're going to see Regice make it to another Earthquake. The opponent is extremely low on HP here. They're just going to let that Heatran go and trust in Dragonite to win this game. Dragonite could be a bit of a problem here for Xurkitree because, as we see, these Dragon Breaths do a lot of damage. Xurkitree has quite a bit of energy though, shielding up the Dragon Claw, farming up, and now full sending the Dazzling Gleam here, hoping the opponent decides to call the bait, but they shield. Xurkitree almost farmed down, but able to make it to a discharge. This will do some solid damage. The opponent is going to let it through. In comes the Landorus. Landorus at the back-to-back superpowers. Superpower number 1 will be shielded. Going for superpower number 2. Will this be enough to KO? This is going to be extremely close. The superpower does not KO. In comes the Xurkitree. The Thunder Shot goes through, and against all odds, that is a win. Moving into the next match, and what do you know? Once again, it's another Rhyperior lead. The Rhyperiors are absolutely unavoidable, apparently. Going for the Stone Edge bait again, and again the opponent calls it. Oh no! That is extremely unfortunate. Respecting the Rock Wrecker, but it is just going to be the Breaking Swipe. Farming up, firing off the superpower, and this will pick up the knockout unless the opponent commits the shield. They're just fully fine with sacrificing the Rhyperior. I'm expecting they're going to be sending in... Oh, they are not sending in a very strong counter to Landorus. They're just triple weak. So we're going to see Landorus stay in here, fire off the Stone Edge, grab a shield from the opponent, and make it to yet another Stone Edge. Landorus putting in a massive amount of work. Opponent lets that go. We see the switch into the Xurkitree, trying for the snipe. Xurkitree just cannot get the farm down. We do see there, unfortunately, Xurkitree get fully one-shot by that Sacred Fire, and in the back, it's Dialga. So Regice should be in a position where it can do well. The Earthquake is going to connect. Regice continuing to farm. Dialga firing off energy. We are going to see a shield from the Regice as Dialga goes for the Iron Head. Regice continuing to farm, going for the Earthquake. This will be grabbing the final shield from the opponent. or their Dialga will get KO'd. The Landorus is available here, farming up the switch into the Landorus as the opponent fires off their energy. And that's game over. Very nice catch. Ooh, a little bit of bad manners as well. Why Earthquake when you can go for the Blizzard, and Blizzard takes the win. Hopping into the next match, and the good leads continue for the Landorus, this time leading into Dialga. Landorus farming up energy here, going for the Stone Edge. The opponent tries to catch a superpower, but they're in for a nasty surprise as the Stone Edge connects, and in comes XURKITREE. XURKITREE continuing to farm up here. XURKITREE playing to the CMP tie, again understanding that it's going to be winning CMP over just about everything. Going for an undercharge here. I do like this play, as XURKITREE, of course, is going to be resisting the Sky Attack. It is going to get a farm down, and now it can make it to a Dazzling Gleam versus the Dialga. Come on, opponent, send in the Dialga here. They send in the Dialga. It all comes down to this. Do they know about Dazzling Gleam? They do not. The Dazzling Gleam nearly picks up the one-hit KO. In comes Landorus. Landorus will immediately be met with an Iron Head. We are going to see Landorus commit the shield. Landorus cannot get a farm down. Opponent is able to save the Dialga on low health in the back and send in Mewtwo. Baiting with a superpower, grabbing a shield, and now we see the switch into Regice. The opponent, if they have Focus Blast, this could get tough. Letting it go, it is just going to be the Psy Strike, but that Psy Strike did a lot of damage. Farm it up and full sending the Blizzard here. This Blizzard is going to connect onto the Mewtwo, but unfortunately, it is not enough to pick up a knockout. And this is a really uncomfortable health range. There's just no remaining fast move pressure into the Mewtwo. It's just Mud Shot. Mud Shot not going to cut it as the opponent does make it to the back-to-back Psy Strikes. Landorus is going to shield and fire off the superpower, but unfortunately, with the opponent still having a shield remaining, they can just shield up, go for the Psy Strike, and unfortunately, that will mean game over. Moving into the next match, leading Therian Landorus into yet another Rhyperior. The Rhyperior leads are apparently out in force today. Oh my goodness. Landorus farming up. Opponent is going to send in Lugia, hoping for a superpower catch, but instead they get hit with the Stone Edge. Landorus farming up quite a lot of energy here, and now we see a switch into XURKITREE, not only getting the catch, but getting the Thundershock through as well. Very nicely done. XURKITREE farming up energy here. Lugia continues to farm as well, and we do see XURKITREE once again playing to the CMP tie here, as it has done time and time again. Now, if the opponent sends in the Rhyperior, these Mud Slaps are going to absolutely crush the XURKITREE, but they throw energy. They did not want to get hit with the Dazzling Gleam, and the Breaking Swipe will pick up the KO. There is a lot of stored energy on the Landorus. Going to wait the switch timer here, send in the Landorus, choosing to go for the more expensive Stone Edge bait, hoping the opponent is going to shield, and they do. Little bit of lag there, which is quite unfortunate. Landorus can survive a Breaking Swipe, but choosing to shield to preserve some HP. Unfortunately, the Breaking Swipe does get the attack drop. Landorus firing off the superpower. Opponent is going to double shield Rhyperior, and now we see why. In the back, they have Dragonite. Dragonite going to be hit with a debuffed Stone Edge. In comes the Regice. Regice farming up energy here. Dragonite is going to fire off the superpower, and this is going to be shielded up by the Regice. Regice, unfortunately, is forced to go for the massive overkill that is the Blizzard. Going for an undercharge here. The undercharge Blizzard will still KO. Back in comes the Rhyperior. Going for the Earthquake. Earthquake does not get same type attack bonus, but will still hit for super effective damage. That's going to get Rhyperior low. Rhyperior running out of HP. Rhyperior is going to need a Rock Wrecker to pick up the KO here. They go for the Rock Wrecker. That does pick up the KO, but 2 Mud Shots from the Landorus mean game over. Hopping into the final match, and we see a familiar lead, Therian Landorus into Giratina Origin. Landorus firing off the Stone Edge as soon as it gets there. We know this is not going to threaten the Giratina, but it does do some very valuable chip damage. Giratina has overfarmed quite a lot of energy here. Landorus is going to commit the shield, and that proves to be a wise decision as it is the Shadow Ball. Landorus farming up, and it looks like that was charge attack priority. Firing off the Stone Edge. Stone Edge is going to pick up the KO. Opponent was hoping to hang on, but the Stone Edge is going to get the knockout. Opponent sends in Lugia. We see a pivot into the Regice, and in the back is Melmetal. So things are looking quite good here. The opponent goes for the Rock Slide from the Melmetal. Melmetal now going to be hit with an Earthquake, and this will do substantial damage. The Earthquake connects, so that will cleanly two-shot the Melmetal, able to make it to another Earthquake. Opponent is going to have to shield, or they will get KO'd here. They let it go. They're leaving it all up to Lugia. Lugia does not want to deal with the Regice, and that is a good game. All in all, these were some extremely entertaining battles. It's not too often that you see not one but two Spice picks on the same Open Master League team and being able to get some wins at that, so definite props to this trainer. When it comes to XURKITREE, its attack stat is truly massive. Even a move like Discharge, which doesn't have a lot of base damage, looks to be an incredibly powerful move when it's fired off by XURKITREE just due to that massive attack stat. But as we see in these games, that massive attack stat does come at a cost. Not having the bulk means that in matchups like Kyogre and Ho-Oh, even though you're hitting for super effective damage, you're just taking a truly massive amount of fast move pressure, and that's something that can definitely hold XURKITREE back competitively. So XURKITREE at the current moment, definitely more of a Pokemon for fun or for rating than for getting wins in Go Battle League, but that just means that if you are able to get wins with it, that is definitely an accomplishment. Anyways, thank you guys so much for watching. If you're enjoying the content, make sure to leave a like and subscribe to the channel if you haven't. And a special thank you as always to our members here on YouTube. The support guys provide is sincerely appreciated, so thank you guys oh so very much. And until next time, I've been HomeSliceHenry.